Hey guys, my name is Fatal, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Fantech Helios 2 Pro. Right? Yeah, that's right. Now, I want to give a big thank you to Fantech for reaching out to me and sending this mouse over to me. Even though I got it for free, all thoughts and opinions are my own. So this is going to be something of a clone to the legendary Zowie S2. Shaped, loved by all and many, a mouse used by so many pros, gamers, aimers, everybody out there. And Zowie never happened to make a wireless version of the S2 despite its success, and we don't know if they ever will. This is where Fantech, my people, jump in. These guys had the balls to come in and do it themselves, but will they be able to hold up against Zowie's reputation? I mean, they made the Aria XD7, and everybody loves that mouse. Starting with the box, it's going to be your standard unboxing, but I do appreciate the little fun graphics and hashtags everywhere on it. Other than the mouse, you're going to find a real thick USB-C cable, your Fantech 1K receiver and receiver dongle, extra skates, and even some more extra like dot skates, which I appreciate. White BTL style grips. I'm not a huge fan of these, but I'll explain that later. A warranty card, a letter from Fantech CEO that I'm sure they actually wrote, user manual, and a badge that shows off that this mouse is 4K compatible, and other stuff. It's got some cool other designs on it. Last but not least, we have some very gamer-esque, very cool guy and patriotic stickers. Fantech did also send out their 4K receiver for me to test out, and the box for the 4K dongle complements the mouse box very fine. A good looking pair. There's nothing else but the 4K dongle in there, so there's that. Alright, so first things first. This is, what do they say? This is solid. Very tough feeling. Absolutely zero rattle and practically no flex anywhere. I'm squeezing this thing hard. Very, very solid actually, unlike this color scheme. It's it's just it's gray and yellow. I mean, I don't know where the thought came from, and I mean, maybe you or somebody out there likes it, but honestly, I think it would have been a fun idea to do, you know, white and red. Hashtag Indo Pride. It's not all that bad though, because you can get it in black and yellow instead, which I think is a lot more palatable, you know, kind of like Bumblebee from Transformers. I don't know, man, just anything but this. Moving on, this mouse is going to feature a PW3395 sensor, which is capable of going up to 4K polling rate. It has TTC Gold optical switches, and is coming in at around 55 grams with the stock skates on. Not too heavy, not too light. You can get all this for only $85 actually on Fantech websites, and that's including the 4K dongle. Since most people don't really need a 4K dongle, you could just get the mouse for $75, which I think is a really good price. When I first received this, the one thing that came immediately apparent to me was the coating. It's pretty lackluster. It's nice to touch, and I guess it's grippier than raw ABS plastic or just raw plastic, but it's just not enough. I've had this for a couple months using it on and off, and it's mostly held up, but the area where my pinky rests is starting to wear out just a bit already, and that's just a little bit disappointing. Knowing this, why not just use the grip tape? I mean, of course, go for it. Absolutely, why not? It's good. But if you've ever seen people using white grip tape on their mice, you should know just how gross looking they can get. So the clicks on the Helios 2 Pro are super solid. These TTC Gold opticals are really nice here. I mean, if I had to describe mouse switches, they're either clicky or clacky, and these are a little bit more on the clacky side. The buttons practically have no side-to-side movement and have pretty acceptable pre- and post-travel. I can pretty much repeat the same things for the side buttons and the scroll wheel. All of them are great and very solid. One thing I really appreciate about this mouse is the use of 100% PTFE skates, or at least I think they are, as far as I could tell. I mean, since the S2 and this shape, the claw shape, is more typically tailored to tech FPS players, it makes sense that they use bigger skates rather than just corner ones, just for that little extra bit of mud. It's nothing like outstanding. It's not anything like, you know, X-ray pad, obsidians, jades, whatever, but, you know, they're appreciated. They work great. Going into the software, it's super straightforward. It's going to be like higher quality standard Chinese software. It's nearly the exact same as Lamzu's, which is also really good. And connecting the 4K dongle was fast, simple, really easy, and I was able to play in no time. Now, Fantech do advertise this mouse as a claw and or palm shape, and I'd have to mostly agree, yeah. I claw and fingertip most of my mice, and the Helios is almost a strict claw for me. And I think it would be for anyone unless you have some gargantuan hands. It's a medium-sized mouse with a rear biased hump, and having this in hand, this is a wide boy. I mean, I don't know, it feels just a little thick in my hand. The rear sides of the mouse fill up your hand a bit more than most mice, at least the ones that I have. And this was slightly awkward for me at first, but I quickly adjusted in a couple days. On the flip side, my pinky just loves how this curves. Good gripping point for that pinky hook I was talking about, and my ring and pinky finger never slip, and I have that rear end to thank for that. The closest thing that I have to this mouse would have to be the Zowie U2, which is by far my favorite claw shape at the moment. I feel the Helios is slightly scaled down in some ways. Both the height and the length are just a little bit shorter than the U2. The U2 is going to be a lot more narrow on the sides, mainly the midpoint of it. And then as you move down to the butt, both are going to flare out as I mentioned earlier. But the curve on the U2 is a lot more immediate and I'd say aggressive in some ways. You can see how the Helios here, how it curves slightly more spread out, leading to that fuller feeling I was explaining earlier. And in this section, the U2 is a little bit more concave going in, while the Helios kind of bulges out. It does the opposite. And overall, this leads to a more round shape and a round feeling, but it's also more relaxed in some ways. And one issue that I found with the U2 in my review was the length. I have some really short fingers and they hinder me in almost every way possible. And the Helios, I think, gets the length of the mouse just right. I'm able to move my fingers freely, stay mobile, but I'm able to just lock in my hand and use that help when I need it, which makes this really good for all sorts of games that I'm playing. And before I forget, let's do size and shape comparisons. Here's a size and shape comparison with the Logitech G Pro Superlight, the Zowie U2, the Finalmouse ULX Medium, and my last review, the VXC R1 Pro Max. Although this mouse does have a slight tech FPS focus that I mentioned, I have the freedom to move the mouse in any way I need while gaming. Works well for pretty much everything I play. It's fun to use. It's a joy. Absolutely delightful. I found no issues in game, never experienced any hiccups, never had any problems for that matter, to be honest. It's just been a smooth, solid experience. The battery life has been really good. I mean, it just died on me now, and I've been using it for the past like 3 to 4 days nonstop, and that's on 4K. Nothing about the shape is really throwing me off, and I hit like 1 or 2 new PBs in Kovacs, which is, I mean, this thing is just solid. There's not really much else to say. While it really isn't innovative in any way, I still think it's just a really good mouse. It has great shape, really good performance, a really good price, and I mean, what else could you ask for? I'm gonna give the Fantech Helios 2 Pro, I'm gonna give this a 5. Everything about it is just good. I mean, with my only real problem being the coding, I still think it's worthy of the rating just because of how sound everything is here. There's how solid. If you ever plan on getting this mouse, know you're getting a mouse with almost no caveats, no flaws, nothing hidden scary. I don't feel like this is gonna break on me anytime. It's just good. Like if I was back in middle school, high school, my parents got me this for Christmas or my birthday, whatever, I'd be happy with this, and I'd be using this for probably forever until I started making my own money and I, wanted to move on to a new mouse. I mean, with that being said, that's pretty much going to be it for this. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter one just because there's not much else to say about it. And I mean, thank you again to Fantech for reaching out to me. I guess they're officially the first company that's ever reached out to me to review something, which gets me so excited, gets me so happy. Woo, it's so cool. It's so fun. If you do enjoy this video, please leave a like, consider commenting, subscribing, tell me what you had for dinner, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.